to myself. Talking to myself again. Good morning, peace and power and profit. Dagger Squad, social media world, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope out there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're loving on yourself this morning. Let me share with you all my love. Loving on yourself. Let's check out my love, my love, my love. Here we go. Here's the lovely Luella. Woo-hoo. This is my love project. So the better I love on my beautiful rose bush, the more I love on myself. It's a reminder to me to be transparent so I can literally see this whole plant come alive, be vibrant, bud out its rose petals, beautiful, excited to be here. And hopefully you are excited to be here for yourself. And so I am, and you can see it in my beautiful rose bush here. Yup, 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 yup. It tells it all. It's telling the story where where I'm at on my journey. Look at that. Oh, let me go this way. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We're off to a very good start. The song played this morning is to be transparent. So you little beauty is gonna go right here, right in live. Here's the transparency. It says we can see right through me. I can see right through me. Some you can avoid the mirror, but in your mind, you know exactly what's going on. So to pretend or if someone asks questions for to pretend as if you don't know how you're doing, it's a whole nother ball game because we have to understand that behavior tells it all. Gestures. You ever looked in a book that has gestures? If you ever looked in a book that has gestures, it will share with you some of your features and how your body language, tells a whole lot about you. And so everybody out there is not avoiding reading materials. It's a whole lot of people that are very educated on psychology, human behavior. Go ahead, Chinese. You gonna say something?
Oh, no, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. And and so you get frustrated because your behavior is showing off your transparency of what's going on the inner side of you. And even sometimes we try to fake a little smile. It doesn't work because how long does it last? And so, as it states, I can see right through you, or you can see right through you. I don't think you really got it. Let me play this again.
I
This
will say this,
Go ahead.
I can try to behave in one way, but you know me better than a lot of people. My face tell everything. I won't have to say anything. So I'm always transparent. I can't fake it for nothing. I have tried to mask it. That don't work. My face will tell you everything. If I don't say anything, I used when I was younger, my mom used to always tell me, "Girl, if looks could kill," I say, "Yeah, half the world would be dead." Because I try not to get in trouble with my mouth, but my eyes, my face tell it all. So I have not mastered that yet.
So, which which leads me to which that brings me out of yesterday into today. That do you honestly think that you can fake your way through your journey, not someone else's, right? Not everybody else. It's not your parents, not your siblings. Fake your way through your journey. What are your results looking like? And the transparency of what you're displaying, if masking is what it is, if I was just, which I did, trying to camouflage what was going on, what was being done, somebody recognized it and was able to point it out and say, hey, listen, let me have a conversation with you. Because this, and this right here, it's that. And when you get that real conversation, it seems almost like they pierce the inside of your mind. You're like, or sometimes you're like, wow, I didn't even know I was giving off that vibe, or that's what my behavior was sharing. But it's again, it goes back to education, awareness. And so if you're not being transparent with yourself, let me play this again because I don't think it kind of soaked in. Transparency, not putting on a front, not putting on a mask, not with yourself to radiate from your whole being what is on inside of you. I can only talk about me. Okay. So my Luella displayed here is going to be a testament of how I am really loving on myself. Now, everybody knows about the past taking care of these plants and these animal pets. Yup, I killed the cactus and I killed the pit bull. So when I look back and say, oh, I thought I did a good job. No, you didn't. Your results spoke for itself. So at this time, at this moment, what are you trying to cover up that is so transparent that everybody recognizes that you need to work on with you in order for you to be a much more excited, happy, and active person, mentally and physically, right? Just listen for a minute. It's rap, but it's okay. You'll figure it out. We're being transparent this morning with yourself. You got to share. This is my journey. I'll share my own story. And hopefully it will wake someone else for their own transition. Day 17, y'all. Let's go. Let me. Oh my goodness. Just a first line. Okay. I'll let it go. Good morning, Dynamic. Let me just stop that one for a minute. Listen, he said, I saw a side of me that I didn't think would shine through. Let that settle for a minute. What are you seeing in you that you don't think that's everybody else don't see? You can pretend, I can pretend everything is fine, things are going okay. How you doing, Mo? All is well. Trying to swing the voice, trying to make it sound like I'm jolly and I'm upbeat and I'm ready. And then when you have that encounter, it's like, she ain't all right.
But most sometimes it takes somebody else seeing what you're trying to mask for you to confront yourself. I put it that way. So it takes that, but then there may be some who still on that masking journey that they're trying to hide something from themselves and everyone else, but they have not had that encounter yet. And like you say, being transparent. I'm gonna be I know I'm hiding some stuff, but I don't know if anybody notices it or know exactly what it is I'm trying to hide. But I we all have our reasons, but And then some things, if sometimes you're not ready to look in the mirror and face that stuff. There are times when you're not. And then some people are fortunate enough to be able to have those who shows them what they're trying to hide and can help them work through that. And then there's some who still try to do that stuff by themselves that need someone to help them see or whatever. So I'm just trying to speak on everybody and throw me somewhere in there, and I'm not gonna let nobody know right. I'm not ready to be transparent, let nobody know which way I'm at.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
That song says something very important. It said hiding behind curtains and blinds. And then Chanisa said something important. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth, Chanisa, even if you tell them. You lose friends, you lose family members, you lose people who you thought you could be truthful with. A lot of times when people want to vent, they really don't want to hear the truth. They want to pretend. But it goes back to the song with Michael Jackson. You got to start with the man in the mirror. When it comes to your health, when it comes to your wellness, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your marriage, when it comes to your children, holistically, mind, body, and spirit, you got to start with yourself. If you can't face yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone says to you. And that's just my beast mode. And I'm with you, Chanisa. I done hit a lot of things. I've been through depression. I've been through a lot of things. You go through financial battles. There's a lot I've been through, but I had to look at me.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning, Dynamic.
I definitely want to say something real quick. This is a great topic right here, transparency. And the reason why I believe that it's a great topic is because, especially when you're in this life, transparency is the key for you to be sane. It's a lot of songs out here that I listen to that says you can't put a price on a peace of mind. And that's what I felt from that saying from the song that you played, Momo. Like when you think about your peace of mind, that's the only thing that really costs you the most. But it's not a tangible thing that you can actually pay for. You have to manifest it. When it comes to the concept of knowing you, most people don't take a lot of inventory on themselves, like really deep inventory. And sometimes the deepest inventory is just what you like and what you don't like. And it's simple, and these smoke and mirrors that we see on a regular basis sometimes can bamboozle us and keep us from wanting to be transparent. It's a lot of things that me as a man that I've noticed that even when it comes to human nature, for myself and for a woman, you know what I'm saying, how we can really not be transparent. It could be easy, and it's amazing how I'm having this I'm hearing this conversation because my trip that I went on consists of that. I got a really good friend that is battling wanting to be great. And I sat with her majority of the time this weekend, digesting all the things that she carry on with her. And it's a lot of women out here that carry stuff with them that most men don't know. And other women don't know. And we kind of was having a conversation. I was saying, sometimes it's sickening to me when you see another woman compliments another woman, because in all actuality, sometimes that woman that gave the compliment is so insecure that she don't feel like she could be that way. So she has to compliment that person. So then sometimes on the back end, this person feel like they could get there. And then by them giving that person that looks so good confidence off a compliment, they don't even know that person is so insecure. That's why they look the way they look. And it's a lot of things that come with that. And this is just my perspective. Nothing what I'm saying is true or anything like that. These are some of my perspectives that I've just witnessed over time frame and conversations I had with people, and them just really just being honest with me. For some odd reason, I got a nature of people just wanting to tell me everything. And I'm cool with that, because I analyze it and I articulate it for myself, or I can be transparent for me. Because what some people fail to realize is when you sit back and you listen to somebody talk and they tell you certain things, 9 times out of 10 they talking about themselves, but then it may be a deeper message within them speaking. And the natural human being doesn't listen to understand; they listen to respond. And once you tap into that inner being of yourself to listen to understand, then transparency start coming out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. And I can honestly sit here and say, because you're being transparency, Momo, we done had a lot of conversations and you said some things to me and I noticed. And you look at me when I pull it out and I say something to you about it. And you be like, okay. And we do the same exact thing to each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of having good counsel around you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love that you did this, because these noble people that you have around you it's uplifting me as well too, and it's uplifting a lot of individuals out here in the world. So if we can be transparent with each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would challenge everybody to look in the mirror, just like how Ms. Brown said. It's scary to look in the mirror sometimes, but look in the mirror and write down 5 things that you don't like about yourself, and go look at that mirror every single day and figure out how you can erase those things from not liking it and loving it. Because I'm just telling you something I did. I used to hate the way I felt by myself and looked at myself, and the judgmental of myself. So I wrote down 5 things in the mirror and I just looked at it every single day. Every day I brushed my teeth, I just sat and looked at it. And I've tried to figure out a way for me not to feel that way no more. That's why people like me so much now. Because I didn't want to have that negative energy when I went out into the world, based off my pain and all my fears that I carry along with me that nobody don't know nothing about. And it's keeping me from being great. It's a lot of people that's scared to be successful. And success doesn't mean finances. Success just means waking up every single day knowing that you have purpose on life. Get excited.
Good morning, Marquise. You got some info? You want to give us? You want to
Good morning, Grand Rising.
Yes. Anything you want to say real quick, or are you just kind of catch up?
I'm sorry, what you say?
I said, you have anything you want to add real quick, or you just going to catch up to the conversation?
Yeah, I would just, vibe, listen to the conversation. I feel, what y'all saying 110%. I've dealt with and been dealing with, those same things my whole life, and I found certain solutions to certain things, and then other things I'm still working on, but I think the thing that benefited me the most throughout it is just kind of telling myself, a simple thing of like, okay, if I'm gonna go through, a situation, a lot of times, you can't avoid it. You're gonna have to go through the situation. And it's like, regardless of the situation, you can go through it, feeling a down type of way, or you can go through it, feeling optimistic. But regardless, you don't have to go through it. And after, going through situations feeling both ways, it's just, I like to go through it, just trying to feel it as optimistic as I humanly can. So I just try to find, things to do that. But then sometimes, you just gotta let it loose sometimes too. And that is where I try to find creative ways to do that, whether through like music, you know what I'm saying, or, things like that. But yeah, it's definitely important, and it's good to have conversations about this type of stuff. Having real people you can talk to, and actually have those conversations. Because a lot of things we keep to ourselves, and we never really get to have conversations about it. So I think it's really important to to do what you're doing now. I definitely appreciate it.
Phenomenal, awesome. Tasha, did you want to add anything before I come in again? Tasha, she's in the background somewhere. So I want to respond two words, two comments that stood out to me: response and someone to talk to. A lot of our security of being transparent with ourselves is that the individual or individuals we choose to get responses from aren't giving us who we choose to talk to aren't giving us the responses that we're looking for. So therefore we continue to, or I, let me say I, because this has to be individual. This journey I've made transparent for myself. Along the way, my peers have decided to come and either support or have their own individual journey. So I can only speak on me. The people, if I don't get a particular response, I don't let you in. You don't get the info. You get the fake. You get the fake it till you make it. You get the type of information I want you to have. And it doesn't really matter to me how you respond to it or how you decide to be my friend. Because at that point, if I don't tell you something or it seems like I'm hiding something, it's because I don't want you to know, right? It's only until either through gesture or verbally, if those responses come back, is I'll begin to open in the peak. Or sometime in the initial conversation, I'll have the conversation. If I didn't get what I want in that initial, I'll withdraw. If it starts to develop and to come along in the conversation, I'll open up. If it's something in personal space, I'll definitely make some decisions. But then I realized I did that for so long because what I needed was not present, that I end up stop being transparent with myself. I was hiding from myself. And therefore the end result is man down. And when the physical man down catches up with the mental man down, the mental can't stabilize the physical, you get the results I have now, which is injury, confusion, no sense of direction. Still operating, not at the point of suicide, not tipping over, but in a state of chaos. So to really back in and make it all come back together and to get it, find if the individual is you need for support. I know for a fact I needed individual support, medical support. If I did not get it, and when Sherry say, Mo, you gotta say out of your mouth what it is you need. You cannot expect anybody, and even if they did, they're not going to go there with you because of the sensitivity of your need. You have to say it. You have to say it with the medical doctor, and you have to find a social or family person to be able to share. So that way, once you begin to expose and open up to the extent of the area that you want to repair, then and only then you'll be able to start healing and getting yourself to where you desire to be. That was a gut check for me because all my life it was a avoidance push pause. Like I'm listening, I'm looking, I'm like, I ain't going down that road. That was not what I was looking for. That was not what I wanted to hear. I am not doing it. But in the same sense, the individuals I'm surrounded by that I'm looking for the proper or the response from, they don't know because I didn't share. Securing information was important for me. I don't need my journey being entertainment for anybody. I needed some results. So when I decided on yesterday to pick up a plant, share with you all my Luella for those who haven't seen it. Lovely Luella. My cousin put a check. Well, when I decided, when Sean said, "Oh, you got to give it a name," let me tell you something right there. Put a name on my situation. I wanted to avoid with all costs the name of the situation. Don't remind me. Don't tell me to diagnose. Don't do any of that. Don't tell me the behavior. I don't even want to hear it. I want to avoid it because I'm like, if you keep telling me, it's going to manifest in me and then I'm going to be it. When actuality, it was already there. The avoidance of thinking is not there. What's the problem? The little things. So on this journey of transparency for me, I'm doing mass majority of things are totally out of the ordinary that most people's like, what the? She's doing that? Not Mo. Mo, wait a minute, hold on. Did Mo just tell y'all a story about herself? Hell no. You can't get her to tell you what she ate yesterday, let alone give you something personal. So my results for myself is consistent of the journey of not only just to be transparent so others can see the transition or to see the actual, you could actually visualize the results, but to be secured and confident. And so when you see me smiling, you see me go live on Facebook, and you see me I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't know this already, when you hear me play Tucker, listen, you can't tell me to play anything inspirational, gospel, none of that. If I'm playing Tucker, it's something going on in my mind. If I play them back to back, then I really got something going on. If I play 3 times in a row, oh, I'm pissed off about something. Something ain't right. So I can listen to that artist, and it just puts me back in a space. And then I'll get to smiling, I get to moving around, I'll get to enjoying life. And then you look again, I done kind of got over, I'm on a whole nother level. So you bring that back up. Oh, such and such, at this time you was da-da-da, you was on this side. I'm like, I done passed that. I don't even know what it was about. It's gone. I don't even really, because I've picked out what can reel me back in now. Whereas before, I was doing it everybody else's way and listening to what they wanted me to listen to, read what they wanted me to read. So now I'm able to identify, okay, what are some triggers? What are some either reading material, some audio, or some people that if you just get in the presence of that, boom, it can get you back where you need to be without even going there. And so out of the ordinary, yesterday when I decided to pick out of Roseville, I tell you guys my story in Germany when I said, ooh, I'm gonna attract me what these young fellas around here or what these guys. And it was like, girl, you better go get you a plant or a dog or a pet to see how well you do. And if you nurture that plant or that pet, then you ready. Honey, I killed the cactus. And then when I tried it again with the animal, I got a pit bull. Oh, she was so beautiful. It lasted for a little bit. I killed the dog. So it was nowhere. And I'm going to tell you, people say, oh, you could tell me everything that you thought I did wrong. I'm going to tell you, it's only one thing I did. I neglected the heck out of them things. I didn't even, after probably the first few hours or maybe 72 hours, it was like it existed, but it didn't exist. No care in the world. Same thing I did with my body. After that military career ended, it got to a point of success. It just seemed like it just wasn't gonna go no farther. I didn't write that dissertation, so I didn't become Dr. Lamb. It was like, I got enough couple books. I could just really survive and just avoid life, period. Significant? What's significant? You don't want to come in this space, honey. Because I wouldn't try to take care of nothing. I wouldn't even take care of me, let alone take care of somebody else. That wasn't important. So for me to stop, when I seen these sitting above the register, I said, you know what? It's that time again. It's that time again. Right? I'm going to finish that. The VA is calling me. Somebody else go.
Coach, Mo said a mouthful though. Um, Good morning, Marquise. Good morning, just us. Good morning, everybody. But yeah, I mean, she said a mouthful. I think each, like you said, everybody's journey is different, David. But I know you said a lot when you were saying like how women care so much and people don't even know it. We trying to please everybody but ourselves. And I found out, like most say, sometimes you need people around you, but I'm a little different. I found out I had people around me, and I was looking for those people to be there to support me in my situations. I was looking for those people to be there to give me the advice I needed. I was looking for those people to be there to, to just know what I needed. But then I realized I didn't need anybody but myself. So my journey is a little bit different. Um, like my husband, that's my best friend, and he's like the only person that's, he knows when something's wrong. And one day he was real with me, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you feeling about life, but I want my wife back."
Woo.
And that was a reality check. After a period when I lost someone that meant the most to me, I kind of fell off in life, and it wasn't because I wanted to. It happened, and like you said, Mo, you do get to the point where you neglect yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I had to start. I had to start back reintroducing self love, meaning putting me first before my husband, before my child, before what somebody else wanted and needed me to do, because I was always a person like, no matter what, I'm there. I'm supporting you. I feel obligated. But then in turn, I always go back to the analogy. Your state of being is like a bank.
Mhm.
People and things can only make so many withdrawals, and everybody was overdrawn. So I had to go and replenish my own bank. And since I've done that, like you said, Mo, peace is very important to me. So now I used to be the person, I used to be the life of the party. I would go, I would do. Now, Mo, the only place I go is to the gym, home, work. That's it, because I found that I was giving so much to other people. The time when I needed those people and I thought they would be there, I didn't have enough to give myself.
Ooh.
It's amazing you say that, Miss Brown. It's so amazing you say that, Miss Brown, because like I'm the same exact way. Life of party, like to have a good time, you know what I'm saying? And this weekend solidified that for me. Like I was in a place where, partying was all around me, and that's something I didn't do. I was focused on building my business. I was focused on, connecting with the right people. You know what I'm saying? And something that you had said just a few minutes ago, about about the bank. My brother had said something to me a few months ago when I first moved down here to South Carolina. He was like, I don't let people rent space in my mind for free anymore. And that hit home for me because sometimes us as humans, we'll sit back and analyze why a person may say this to them, or why a person may have conducted themselves towards them in this manner, or why can I get the love from this person that I'm giving them, and you sit around and you think about all the different things that you may have done, or you may have not done. And in all actuality, it may not even be you, but you're creating it to be you. A wise man once said to me, you apply meaning to where there is no meaning. So in that sense, a person can make up something in their mind and they can believe it and they could deliver out into the universe and they could make it real. And they just apply meaning to something that had no reason to have any meaning for whatsoever. None. You created a meaning. So when we go through certain things in our life, we unconsciously create meanings in our brains to solidify certain things. It's like a sign of justification. You can't justify what's going on in your life based off somebody's actions. What about your actions? Don't try to justify what's going on because of what somebody else did. What did you do to make that happen? you, you know what I mean? Because that's the real source. You are the real source. And some people don't look at it like this. Like, I'm a single man, I don't have no children, no nothing. So some of the things that you guys talk about, I can't concur with you. But I just have understanding, and I seek understanding on a regular basis. So for me, it's like, okay, by me being in the position that I'm in, why am I in a position that am I in? I had to really start thinking about that. The concept is that I really want to gain something out of life. I had to be real myself. And then when you think about your world, some people don't look at it as this significant. Momo invited me into her world. I invited her into my world. The way I see things is totally different than the way she sees things. If humans look at life in that manner more often, like, you have a whole world, your own personal world. Your brain is your world. That's why the higher power created the brain as a circle, as an oval. It has two halves. That is your world. That's why it is a equator that goes around the world. It has two halves. You have a top and a bottom. You have a right and a left. How often do you utilize that? I know the individuals like Momo. When she went and she traveled and she did different things in the military, her brain got expanded. Start learning different things. A lot of people on this Zoom, a lot of people that's watching us, if you travel somewhere and you went somewhere and you did something that you've never done before, you received something you never received before, your brain got expanded. Your world got expanded. Once you start meeting people and you start bringing people into your life, your world gets expanded. If you don't have a strong foundation within your own world, you will get lost in other people's worlds. You get lost. You'll have no foundation. You won't know how to move forward. So us as humans, this transparency conversation we having is very, very, very important. Very important. Because if you don't know yourself, somebody else will tell you who you are and you will accept it.
Mo and David, I didn't even know. Mo, what you're doing, man, I can't even tell you what you're doing, how many people it's going to affect. Just like that interview we did about the female issues I face, I've never been transparent about it. Never. And like Trinisa said, there's a lot of things that we're still not transparent about, but I think in this circle, and I can only speak for me, the things that I'm not transparent about now, it's not because I don't want anyone to know. It's because I have gotten to the point, just to go back to, like, I want to learn how to deal with things myself. Like, I want to recognize what's ailing me, not just in my body. Like, for example, I work out so much, I can go to the doctor, I can tell the doctor what's wrong with me at this point. You know what I mean? But from a peace and mental standpoint, that is like my next step of my journey. The body, I got it down pat. I know what to put in. I know what I put in, what I'm going to get out. But something you said before, the peace, my mental peace, is so important. So for me, like what you're doing, it sort of solidified the journey that I've put myself on is the best journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to tell you that, because I know we get on here and it may not seem like, but this is going to reach so many people in their soul. Even, and I feel like once they can get the inside adaptable and you can deal with the inside of you, you can start working on the outside of you. That's when the consistency will come with wanting to eat right. That's when the consistency will come with wanting to exercise. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and by the way, I want to tell you, I can see you talking to lovely Luella because she's bloomed some more this week. So I just wanted to say that.
I want to segue off Ms. Brown real quick, and I'm gonna end my time because I got to get my morning started. A few years ago, when I tapped into my life, when I really tapped into my inner self, I wrote something down, and ever since then I've been thinking maybe I should really piggyback and write a whole novel off this because I feel real deeply about this, right? At the age of 3 years old, my grandmother taught me how to swim. There's grown people that don't know how to swim. There's grown people that won't even think about going to the water and letting the water go higher than their knees, right? That's not no shot. That's nothing like that. But I'm going to give you guys something that I thought about, right? And I want you guys to think about this. The people that's on YouTube, the people that's on Facebook, the individual that's locally right here on Zoom with me, you know what I'm saying, that can actually feel my energy deeply than other people can. Check this out. Manifest this real quick. The human body, visualize the human body as a pool of water, okay? The human body is a pool of water. It's laid out flat. Pool water, laid out flat on the ground, right? A person that doesn't know how to swim is going to come in on the shallow end, meaning the feet. They're going to walk in, right? They're going to go maybe to length waist. If they feel a little confident, they're going to go to the point that they're actually on their tippy toes. And then they're going to turn around and go back. People go through life like that. People go through life, a situation comes, it's getting a little deep. I don't know how I'm going to shake this. Let me turn around and go back and regroup. I didn't say that to say that's a problem. I say that to say that I understand that's what people do. Then you have other individuals that sees a problem and they jump right in on the deep end, right? On the deep end. And they come out walking on the other end. I hope you caught that just now, but I'm gonna go back, all right? A person doesn't know how to swim. So if they don't know how to swim, they can't imagine going into the deep end. A person that doesn't know how to fish, they couldn't imagine going out into the lake with a rod and throwing out there and looking for some fish. They're going to expect somebody to give them something to eat. We have to teach each other how to fish. Let me give you an example. So what? You don't know how to swim, right? But if a person has the understanding that if I go in the deep end, that don't mean I have to go directly in the middle and try to fend for myself. They have an outer rim that can hold me up. All I have to do is be confident enough to at least take the move to the deep end. Then eventually I'll be able to float, swim, do whatever I need to do in the deep end so I can feel confident coming out on the shallow end. If we as humans take deeper inventory on ourselves, you will walk into your greatness. People will recognize your posture. Your energy will be undeniable. Your confidence will shoot through the roof. All you have to do is dive inside you. That's all you got to do. Are you going to continuously walk through life from the shallow end? Or are you going to jump right into life and walk out into greatness? Most people are scared to be successful. Whatever your level of success is that you want to get, just make sure you push towards that. But you got to dive inside yourself for that. You got to do real inventory in yourself. The name of my thought process and what I just told you guys is diving inside. Get excited.
Thanks, Dynamic. Now you got to go. Justice, I see you had your mic open.
Yeah, definitely appreciate what everyone is saying and totally in agreement with everything. And thank you again, Mo, for keeping these shows going. Definitely great, and everyone who decided to be a part of it, to give their light, to allow their light to shine. And those light who are hidden, let your light shine as well, because everyone definitely got something great to give to life. I mean, we don't want to leave this earth without having some type of mark on it. So your light must shine. My take on it is that what I always teach is you got to deal with self first. The goal is to, as my master teacher, Jesus, who became the Christ, from a physical standpoint of view, for those who realized he was the Christ at the end before he left, is to learn how to go with inside self. Because as he taught, the kingdom of God is within you, and the kingdom does not reside with the king. So we know God is inside of us. So why is that important? It's like a mother having more than one child. So that's a family that was created there. And once they understand that's a family, they could treat each their child with the same respect and love. So once you're able to tap in yourself and know that the spirit of the living most high Almighty God is inside you, then you can learn about the spirit of the most high Almighty God is inside everyone else as a family. And once you understand we all are one, a reflection of each other as a family, and now as individuals, you could be able to say, well, let's see how do I deal with this person individually from a personality when I know that's me and them and I am in them and we all are family. So going in oneself is very important to understand oneself, to understand what is love in order to give love. All right.
But so based on there's a whole lot that was said. I had to write some stuff down, but one of the points I want to bring out before I end, Marquise or Chanisa, you guys want to bring anything out that you want to say before I say this, or I can say it and then you guys come back in or what that? Okay, is Dynamic 3D said creating something to be there that's not. So Deshandra, I spoke with my OBYT yesterday, right? Now, I had come up with this nice little interview of information that you gave us. So I went in the appointment not playing no games. And so
boy.
Yes. So I'm smiling in the beginning of the interview or the appointment. I'm smiling and everything. And so he's asking me questions. So he gets to a point and I will get what I was creating. What I was creating that is not there. So the doctor says, so he's focused on trying to soothe me while I'm on my cycles, right? Not to be nauseous, not to have such heavy, periods, that kind of thing, right? So I'm like, he ain't about to classify one issue and avoid the other one. We ain't doing that today because Chandra already told me that. They ain't gotta be fixated on what's going on. So what happened was, that's not what I really want to talk about that part. But so as we get into the conversation, we have to get into the fibroid conversation, right? And so he tells me, the size of them and all that great stuff. And so he says, are you sexually active? You see, you try to have kids? I said, sure, that'd be cool. He's like, are you sexually active? I said, no, I'm not sexually active. He said, how you gonna have kids if you're sexually active? I said, well, ain't nobody wanna have sex with me. If I find, he was like, what? People have, he said, what do you mean nobody wanna have sex with you or whatever? You making that up? I said, why would somebody want to have sex with me? Why would they want to get close to me and get all, intimate or whatever? Look at my situation. You see my situation? Do you know what I'm
doing? Now you'd have made a whole nother situation up, man.
Listen, I said I'm being transparent, right? So he looked at me. He was like, what? He was, people in your situation have sex all the time. They get married to this. I was like, what? Like, what? Like it just went over my head, right? And I was like, and so he looking at me, I'm looking at him like, So I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, I remember talking to a friend of mine because it was before this. And he gave me a compliment. And I was at my worst during that time. So that played in my mind yesterday when the doctor said it. It played in my mind. So I was like, I looked at him like, did you just compliment me? And he was like, yeah, you're such a pretty woman. Like, you're so pretty. And you this, that, and I was looking at him like, what? Like, because my whole physical injury had got the best of my mental capacity to even think that I can be in a space of.
Oh, you made something up.
Yes.
You made something up. So you put a label on yourself, even though you don't want nobody else to put a label on you.
Yes.
And that's what I'm talking about from the mind perspective. The mind is powerful.
Yes.
Because you had to made up in your mind, like, how am I have kids? Ain't nobody gonna sleep with me. What?
Yes. The doctor was like, girl, do you know people? And he went into this whole little spill. And I was looking at, and now for coming from, because he's a Caucasian male, you know, I'm not attracted to Caucasian males. So when he was saying it, and I was just like.
And what she don't understand, there's a plenty of them out there that want to. She just done brushed them all off. She needs to go back and do a mental inventory.
What you've done was you've put up this wall, because again, it goes back to the bank. The bank was so overdrawn, not even just from a physical capacity, from a mental capacity. So you didn't want to hear what nobody had to say, because you made up this thing in your mind, like, I'm this, I'm that. It doesn't matter. So even allowing a man to come into that space, you had to already shut him down before you gave him a chance.
Yep.
And that's what we do
from witnessing it.
That's what we do though, Mo. I mean, like, even, you know, and I'm married. Women do it with their husbands. Women do it with their husbands. It's not just you, so don't think it's just me as a woman. Women do it with their husband, like, oh, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not. But your husband telling you how nice you look every day. But in your mind, you're not happy with you. So it goes back to like how David said too, as women, we have to deal with so much. We put up all these smoke and mirrors, but on the inside, we jacked up. So
that's
until
true.
you get
That's
the inside
true.
right, you know what I'm saying? And luckily for me, I got the outside right. So I'm just fixing up the rest of the inside. You see what I'm saying? So it works different for everybody. But you're starting to work on the outside mode. But at the same time, I can appreciate the fact, and I love the fact that you're being transparent about, I got to change my thought pattern around some things, because I don't allow this whole situation to make me think this way about this. And now I bet after you left that appointment, as you was driving, you probably was thinking about, like, what else I'd have made up since I've been in this situation.
But you know what? We all do it, because I've been doing it my whole life. But remember, Mo, when we were with the Loving the Skin I'm In tour? Yeah, I was faking that whole time. I don't know if anybody knew it. I still be fake. I'm like, I can see what others say. I can understand it. I can appreciate them telling their story. I tell my story, and my mental Deshandra tells me, oh, they just saying that. Oh, they just being nice. They don't really mean it. You know, my mental tells me, you know, yeah, right, whatever. So whether you have a physical injury or not, you know, Mo put up her barriers or walls or whatever. I don't have a physical injury, and I walk around with barriers and walls every day. You know, that Loving the Skin I'm In brought out so much, but to this day, I still yet have to love the skin I'm in. And I appreciate Mo for being transparent.
Because it's helping all of us, Janisa.
She does not know how her journey helps my journey. Because I'm saying, if Mo can do it, I can do it.
Mo, what you're doing is important, girl. Tranisha, that's so true. I mean, where you are, I've been there, Tranisha. I think Mo has been there, and it's, you know, just keep walking that journey. That's all I can tell you, girlfriend, because some days it get hard, and like she say, Mo, it ain't just you, it's us too.
It is so. I think who is it? I think I can't remember. I was with someone was someone was trying to I guess trying to change up something that they do, whatever it was. I couldn't remember, and I said, you have to you have to start working with them first. some some stuff, some information or stop that, Mika. Y'all gonna make me cry too. It's release is good, healthy release. All of the information, I hope it's helping. Listen, shout out to those who are listening in social media world. Anything that is being said this morning or any other panel, I hope that it brings you peace, brings you love, brings you joy, reels in some self-control so that you can persevere your way through, and that it's edifying to you. It's too often, I think Dynamic said it, we get lost in other people's worlds where we avoid ours so much that when we want to be transparent, to go over some transparency is not for public, but it has to be done so that you can move through your journey and feel good about it, and embrace where you're trying to go or what you're becoming, so that you can give off more. Janice is she's such a dynamic organizer, presenter, and trainer that she's absolutely right. We were a part of we were doing some tours from city to city called Loving the Skin I'm In. And that journey, headed up by Shonda Norman, started based on women who had dealt with so much trauma that it put a stain on their life. And so these women had overcame that trauma and wanted to share and tell their story to hear other people. And no matter what city we went to, Charlotte, Atlanta, Savannah, Columbia, Augusta, no matter what, Edgeville, no matter what city we went to, there was always such relief in a room from women telling their story and someone else being in the room saying, wow, this helped me, and I'm glad I found a safe space to be able to share. And so I think it was like towards the last one we did before Shonda decided to do her Healing Hearts Center down in Greenville, where Chanisa opened up and began to share a little bit of where she was. That was just overwhelmingly. I knew a whole lot, but I've always tell people have to bring you into their space, because to me, security of information is important. I'm trying to get somewhere. I don't want to feel like once I've opened up and I've confided in you to give me that response I was looking for, right? Because I've allowed so much, as David said, to rent space in on both sides of my brains, that it's cluttered up to the point that I cannot feel free in my journey. Like, it's so much going on. But I was telling the young lady, I was like, I was telling the other person who was mentoring the other lady, I said, they have to get by themselves. They have to start listening and hearing and getting amongst those things that will start to speak to the situation, because you're not always going to have or know how to help yourself until you start. There's a passage that say people will be won over by the word of your testimony. Some people don't know how, you expect them to come out of their situation, but they really don't know how until they actually hear information that can resonate with them, so they can begin that process. And for so long, especially when you speak women or you speak, go ahead, Justice, because once I finish, I'm gonna end the show. Go ahead. So if anyone else want to go after Justice, that's fine, because I gotta get ready for appointment. Justice, go ahead. You can open your mic.
All right. I think one good thing that a person probably could do as a practice is, of course, we all first got to acknowledge the issues that we have, but in a way that you could probably get to a spot where you're alone and you could be calm, relax, and take up a breath just to de-stress yourself from your daily lives and just try to be most possible at peace with yourself in that moment, and then envision those things that is holding you back, that is hindering you, or you may even have fear of. And as you do that, you breathe in, and when you exhale, as you exhaling it out of you. So you first have to visualize it and let it out, let free yourself from it, and then think about the things that you would like to have. And I know it might be like cliche, but when you able to put things in your subconscious, as every day they do it on the news, every day they do it on advertising, they put these things in our subconscious every day, whether we know it or not, and we just play it out. Don't even know why we like that pizza, why we want to eat. You know, these things are always being done to us. So let's start doing it for ourselves, because we are the least and able to envision it, have an imagination of the possibility of it can happen in the now. And when you do put yourself in that position, after exhaling all the negativity, to envision the positivity, let's feel that now. So if you want to have a car, feel the experience or the enjoy of the now on having it. Not you going to have it, but you have it now. And it all starts in the imagination. It all starts in the thought. And then the word is spoken for it to happen. And the action is able to play it out. Peace.
I absolutely love, and that's a good way for me to end, because I think you said it better than I was actually getting ready to explain it. Is the fact yesterday we spoke on breathing and being able to relax and release and all of that great stuff. So you just kind of merged that together for the day. And so yes, you have to get to a point where you could breathe. Ujau stated something, and I'm trying to get him on one of these morning. He had spoke on being able to manifest. He actually spoke this from an intimacy perspective, that I need to just play that show.
I,
Go ahead, Marquis.
no, I was there. I remember that.
You
Like
remember
that.
that?
That was a really a breakthrough for me, honestly. Because what he was talking about was the different stages of consciousness, you know, being, you know, of course, your subconscious and the different steps of brain activity, like what was it, like gamma, delta, theta, like those were, and you have to get into certain mind states when you dedicate yourself to certain goals, because you are more receptive of it. Like when you're, and it goes down to how many thoughts per minute you think in different states. So if you commit to a goal when you're not in the right state and you're thinking a whole bunch of different stuff, like it won't really set. But if you know you're calm and you relax and then you commit to things in certain states, then it goes into your subconscious, you know, and that really helped me. And it actually springboarded off of that. I found out about this, which is, it goes to a lot of what we're talking about. It was this one author, he has a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And, you know, he was a plastic surgeon, and he was talking about how he would do surgery on people. And even after he did the surgery, was successful, everything looked good, they would still have mental scars. And, you know, he you know, has a book like breaking down how, you know, you deal with, you know, the mind and the subconscious and a lot of the blocks we have and conflating we do and all those type things. So I can definitely send you that. Like that was a super breakthrough for me, because, you know, I'm a person who likes, you know, like the brother was saying earlier, like I like to live in my own mind and my own world and organize that and get my furniture right and get everything set right so that I can perform when it's time to perform, you know. So yeah, that's definitely powerful. I remember that whole conversation.
And what I did, I put it in the back chat, is a movie called Inception. I put a link in the back chat. It's very visual on what it means to go down 3 levels deep to your subconscious. They're going to show you how the people go down 3 levels deep. And once they plant a seed in subconscious, then it grow.
Yes, that. Ooh, I need. Hey, can you send that to my messenger? That.
Right.
Yes, this is a good way to end. I don't have anything to add for what you guys just said because I want those to be the last points. Marquise, you summed up exactly. I probably would not have summed it up that way. I remember that conversation because when he spoke it into for about being wanting to manifest something and getting to that certain point, and he said it works perfect. When you're doing it with your spouse or your significant other at the climax of your, you know where I'm going with that, and how it worked. And man, listen. That was so engaging and powerful. Thank you for sending that to my messenger. Hey, listen, for those of you out there, I hope these sessions are powerful. I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting inboxes. I definitely appreciate you guys holding me accountable to my journey. Allow me to be transparent, safeguarding, and encouraging, and, you know, just all inclusive of supporting one another to be where they are. So, which is really good. It's not often you could get on a panel and each individual is helping one another, but still able to encourage. And so that's beautiful. And so I have to end the show. So I have to go. Shout out to Garfield. Thanks for the Dagger Squad for being able to broadcast on the channel. Peace and love to everybody. Hey, listen, today is Wednesday, Urban Economic Empowerment Show. If you are not in our groups and you ain't been hanging out, you are missing some valuable information that could change your economic situation. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Transparency is key, and I'm going out with the song. Let yourself out, baby.
And really, we just some G-string